Hi, I'm Lisa, and this is the Backward Glance. Today is June 10th, 2019, and I'm back with another What Sold video. And specifically, I like to share with you items that sold within the first 30 days of being listed in my eBay store. So if that's the kind of thing that you think you might be into, go ahead and click that like or subscribe so you can see more of these videos. I am a full-time reseller and I do focus mainly on apparel, so you'll see a lot of clothing and accessories in here, but a couple of other things thrown in too. To start out with are these American Giant cropped pants, and these were called the Kick Flare style. Never found this brand before, never heard of this brand before, but decided to look it up in the thrift store. And this is the tag that I came across on that, and looked like it had a great resale value and a great sell-through rate, so picked these up for $5.39. They did sell for my full asking price of $38, and these sold on the same day that I listed them. So looks like this is going to be a good brand to look out for. Next up is this J. Crew women's tippy sweater, and this is probably one of the most common J. Crew items that I come across. I've sold the plain version of it many times in different colors, usually more in the fall and winter, but this one had that little bonjour on the side, which I thought was really cute and might be a good selling point. So I picked up this sweater for $4.26. It took 26 days to sell, and I did take a best offer on this of 21. I think in the fall or winter I might have even listed it a little higher and kind of held out for maybe 24 or 25 bucks, but like I said, I've sold this exact sweater a lot. It's like a really fine knit merino wool, definitely has a following, and the black tag there shows that this sweater is probably came out within the last 4 or 5 years. Next are these Eileen Fisher shoes, and this is my first time selling shoes from this brand, and I've really slowed down on picking up Eileen Fisher clothing. A lot of the basic stuff just doesn't sell that well for me anymore, but I will pick up like a nice jacket or something if I see it, so there's still some money to be made with this brand, and there's definitely a high quality to a lot of the pieces and definitely has a following, but don't be necessarily paying up for this brand anymore is I guess what I would say. So at any rate, these shoes were called the Kipling and they were like a nubuck leather. I paid $6.05 for them, and I ended up taking a best offer on these of $30, and that took 28 days to sell. Next up are these Allegria shoes, and these are kind of similar to like Dansko and Sanitas. They are often worn by nurses or people who have to be on their feet all day. And what I like about this brand is that the thrift stores in my area don't seem to know that this brand is kind of like a Dansko or Sanitas, and they tend not to mark them up as high. I did pay $8 for these, but often they're not even marked as high as $8. So like I said, paid $8, sold on a best offer of $28, and these took 10 days to sell. So if you're not aware of this brand, it is a brand to kind of look out for. It definitely has a following. I think I've sold 3 pairs, and 3 of them sold really quick, and then I have a 4th pair that hasn't really gotten a lot of attention, but I'm thinking it will sell eventually. Next up are these Prana shorts. This is a super staple brand for me. I don't usually sell it for very much money, but I do tend to flip a lot of this brand. So this is Prana. These were just some pull-on shorts. I paid $3.88, and they did sell for my full asking price of $18, and that took 18 days to sell. There is the logo if you're not familiar, and if you come across Prana men's stuff, you can often get a much higher price for it than what I generally get for the women's stuff. So keep an eye out for Prana men's hiking pants, even Prana men's like button-down shirts, things like that do pretty well. This Wilson A1000 glove, a really nice glove, and Echo leather, which is something I'm kind of more familiar with in shoes, the Echo brand. So I'm just getting into learning about gloves, but this A1000 series is a great one to be on the lookout for, and if you find A2000, that is even better. So This glove I paid $3.87 for. I ended up taking a best offer of $40, and that took 16 days to sell. I actually had two eBay buyers messaging me at the same time, and their eBay names started with the same letter, so I wasn't really paying attention. I thought it was all one buyer. So when the person who bought this actually bought it, within like an hour, the next person sent me a message asking if I was going to relist it, and they were really disappointed that they missed out. But that's how eBay is. You got to scoop stuff up when you see it. So next up is I was really surprised actually that this sold fast. I really debated over buying it because I thought it might sit forever. First of all, there were a ton of shirts of this exact same pattern listed, and 24 was about the high end of what they were listed at. And Rain Spooner can be a decent brand to find, but kind of preferable to find like super funky, more colorful patterns. If you're not familiar with the brand, here's the tag. This shirt was missing its size tag, and I could tell it was a big size, so that's why I decided to go ahead and pick it up. So I determined it was a 2XL just from the measurements, and I'm glad I picked it up because I only paid $3, got 24 for it, and that took only 3 days to sell, so sometimes you just can't predict these things. This was a cool sale for me. I've never heard of this brand Eric Javits, and the line of these bags is called Squishy, and they're just like woven raffia, and then this one had like gold metallic thread all through it. So this was coming out at the thrift store on a bin, just like on top of a bin of hard goods that they were just putting out. And I picked it up thinking, maybe it was going to be a $20 flip or something. And turned out that this is a really expensive brand, so they actually accept this brand at the RealReal. And I sell through the RealReal occasionally, so I thought I might just send it there, but I decided to try it on eBay first, and I'm glad I did. So this bag I paid $6.40 for, and I sold it for $68, and that sold within about an hour of being listed, and so that makes it my quickest sale of the week for sure. Here is the name there, Eric Javits, and this was like a little mirror that came inside the bag, and then you can see there's this little like EJ hang tag on there. So this is definitely something to keep an eye out for. So when I'm selling designer stuff that I could send to the RealReal, what I usually do is kind of see what I think they would price it for and figure out what my commission would be from that, and then determine whether it makes more sense to sell it on eBay, because normally the prices people are willing to pay on eBay are not quite as high as the prices on the RealReal, but it might end up that with the commission and everything, that it's still better to sell it on eBay, and that was the case with this. So the RealReal probably would have listed this at $125. And if you're not experienced with them, one thing that you should know is everybody gets a 20% off coupon. I think I've only ever had one item sell that didn't have at least 20% off, so probably would have sold closer to 100, assuming that it sold quickly and didn't get marked down any farther. And my commission on that would have been $40, or, maybe like $42 or something in the end. So in this case, it was a better flip on eBay. However, lots of designer brands can sit on eBay for months and months and months, and if you might notice that the comps have really high prices, but the sell-through rate is almost nothing. So that's what I like about the RealReal, is they tend to sell stuff pretty quick because people are on there looking for these brands, and people just aren't on eBay looking for a lot of the designer brands. So just a little tip, if you're interested in checking out the RealReal, I do have a video where I did my perspective as a reseller, just a review on using that service. So here is the only item that I was excited to find at garage sales this weekend. I went to like 25 garage sales and a community sale, and I should have just left because I was just striking out everywhere. But I did end up coming across these Lalique perfume bottles. Lalique can be a super expensive brand, and these were boxed sets. I bought two of them that were exactly the same, and this is what they looked like from the outside. and I did a multi-quantity listing and ended up getting a best offer for 25 per box. So the person wanted to buy both of them, which I was thrilled with. So I had just $1 each into these, so $2 into $50, and that took just one day to sell. Here's my 10th item, which is this Adidas Respect Me, which is a collaboration with Missy Elliott, and this was like an extra small track jacket. This is another item that I was really kind of up in the air about purchasing because honestly I just didn't think it was that cute. There is the Respect Me tag, so if you see that ME, that's the Missy Elliott. So in the end, I'm glad I picked it up. I paid $5.16 for it, and I did take a best offer of $20, but it took just 5 days to sell, so I was happy with that. And then I have kind of a bonus item, so that was 10, and then number 11 is an item that showed up in my last video because I bought 2 of the exact same pair of shoes, same size, same style, and basically same amount of wear. And these really had quite a bit of wear. As you can see, some of the color on there is coming off, and lots of scuffing on the front. Minimal tread wear, definitely a lot of life left in the soles. So at any rate, I bought 2 pairs of these. The first one sold in 5 days, and the second one sold in 8 days. Now on the second one, I did take an offer of 25, which was a little lower than I had hoped. But I'm always happy to sell things quickly, and my investment in these was $8.50, so still some profit in there. So that's what I have to show you today. I did a ton of thrifting this weekend. When I got that Eric Jovitz bag, I actually had a really huge haul. I found some pretty high-end designer stuff, probably all from the same people who donated the bag, so hoping to bring you some of that stuff in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.